We are also closely monitoring Vice President Harris's trip to the U.S.-Mexico border. And this is after she has gotten some heat, of course. She's in El Paso, Texas today, touring U.S. border facilities with Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. But she's fending off criticism that she was slow to come to the region. Let's go ahead and bring in NBC News correspondent Jacob Soboroff. He's in El Paso following the vice president's trip. So, Jacob, what is on the agenda today for the vice president, and can we expect to hear from her?
We can, Lindsay, and we've already heard just a little bit from her about why she decided to come to El Paso for her first visit as vice president. Of course, she was the senator from California, visited the border in that state, my home state, many times when she landed here in El Paso. What's on the agenda is a visit to that new central processing station that's been built here to handle the large increase in migrants that have come into the United States as COVID has waned, and that started, frankly, at the end of the Trump administration. She's also right now down at the border itself, visiting the Paso del Norte port of entry, the crossing down there, one of the busiest pedestrian crossings in the United States between the U.S. and Mexico. And she'll end her day by meeting with advocates, legal service providers, and members of civil society here who deal with and work with migrants on a daily basis. And look, of course, she's been criticized by Republicans for coming here to El Paso in particular and not to other areas of the border in the Rio Grande Valley. You're looking at her right now, talk to some of those Border Patrol agents. What the administration says is they're coming to El Paso because of the significance of this place. It was where the family separation policy under the Trump administration started. This is an administration that has said repeatedly they want to create a fair, safe, orderly, and humane immigration system. They're criticized on the left for that as well because they have not yet rescinded what's known as Title 42. That was a Trump border policy that expelled virtually everyone. They've rolled it back for children only, but virtually everyone that comes across the southwest border under the guise of COVID-19. And you've got public health officials who are saying at this point that is not necessary and it is not based in public health. It is purely for politics. So it is a fraught visit for fact-finding at the border for Vice President Harris because she has taken criticism from both the left and the right while she's down here trying to do what she has said, which is look into the root causes of migration to the United States, Lindsay.
Well, and Jacob, you have already touched on a lot of Republicans claiming victory with this trip. For example, Republican Congressman Jim Jordan tweeting, "Thank you, President Trump. She would never go without you announcing your trip first." But we also know that when Vice President Harris sat down with NBC's own Lester Holt, he asked, will you go to the border? And she said, yes, I do have plans to go to the border. So separate fact from fiction for us here.
Well, look, victories, whether it's a victory or not, is all about scoring political points here. I'm here to look at the facts on the ground, and the facts on the ground are there are still families who cannot get into this country, despite the fact that the vice president and the president promised a different type of immigration system. Was she going to come to the border? She told Lester she was going to come to the border. Do presidents and vice presidents routinely come to the border? Yes, absolutely, they do. We saw the Republicans go down to the Rio Grande Valley earlier this year and stage effectively a photo op riding around with Texas Department of Public Safety officials in literally a gunboat as they went out to look for migrant families and children on the Rio Grande. I guess it depends on how you look at this. And if you look at it as how best to reform, create a new immigration system, I'm not sure what there is to be criticized. She's kept her word and come down to the border. If you want to say she's coming here because she was forced by former President Trump's visit next week, I suppose you could say that as well. But the bottom line is she's here now. She's at the border to take a look at what is happening down here. And ultimately, one would assume, inform the administration's, I should say, policies when it comes to moving away from the policies of the Trump era. And they have not fully done that yet. And that's something I think is important to reiterate.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.